Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Cook Podcast. This is episode 13 with Noe Madrigal, the president of A&A Roofing. On this episode, we cover upbringing, relationships, business, and so much more. Hope you guys enjoy. I appreciate you stopping by, man.
Yeah.
We're about to try the Wagyu Arrachera. Have you tried this before?
I had a long time ago. I was telling you, I just finished some ranchera that I got for Super Bowl, but not that Wagyu. Can't afford that. It's so juicy, bro. It's like you could like
super
just
soft, too tender.
Yeah, no, it's good. I tried it and I kind of burnt it, so I was like, damn, bro. When I tried it, because it's cooked so fast.
Yeah, you just got a quick flip.
Yeah, not me.
Hot and fast.
That's good, bro.
What's your favorite piece of meat or cut of steak?
I just I've been on this carnivore diet, and so I'm really exploring meat now, and I'd say your New York, super good
steak.
Yeah. We did I smoked filet mignon, and that was the
tender.
best I've ever had. One of my friends I invited. So funny story. That day that I got that, I invited one of my friends that we really don't talk to on a frequent basis. And so I invite him over for it. I said, hey, I'm grilling it up. I'm gonna smoke it. Come over. So he comes over. Long story short, because of that night, I ended up putting a fish tank in my office. So I have a full 150-gallon fish tank in my office because he used to work at Petco.
I think I've seen that on your story.
And so one of his customers said, hey, I got this free tank. And so he was showing me some Facebook reels and was like, hey, I got this tank. Check it out. And I'm like, oh, dude, that would look cool in my office. So then we went to the office and it didn't go in the front room. So he's like, put it in your office. And then after that, I extended an offer for him to be our field supervisor. And so he actually has been with us. This is his second week. Yeah.
That's cool, man.
So it all came out of the filet mignon from you, bro.
Come on.
Yeah.
Yep. You're welcome, bro.
Yeah, thanks, bro.
I'm just kidding.
That was the most expensive filet mignon I've ever bought.
Really?
I had to pay a fish tank that were way over budget, and I had to pay him a salary now. So I think I got the worst end of that.
That's good, man.
Yeah,
so
man.
You got a Traeger or what?
Yeah, I got a Traeger, I got a griddle. And then I got just the one, a Home Depot one. There's you go outside and there's 3 of them. But yeah.
That's sick, man.
We like grilling it. That's the only thing I can do. I suck at cooking, but I could grill.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the same thing with me, bro. I'm always grilling. It's winter, summer, whatever, but I'm always grilling. And people are always like, hey, man, you're like a chef. I'm like, nah, I just know how to grill. That's it, bro. And even then, sometimes I struggle if I haven't, cooked a certain piece of steak in a while. I'll have to how do you cook this again, a tri-tip or a brisket. Since I don't do those often, I kind of struggle.
Yeah,
but I found my way around the grill.
Yeah, but my best thing for Christmas was some prongs that hook up to my phone. So and they're so nice. So it'll tell you what time to pull it out and at what time to do certain things. Gives you recipes and stuff.
Is it that the meter probe?
Yeah. Yeah.
The one that you stick in and then there's an app and everything?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's badass, bro. But yeah, as far as cooking, bro, scrambled eggs and that's it.
Yeah.
Swear. I'm a horrible cook.
How's the diet life for you? Because you're on the carnivore diet.
Yeah.
So
I've kind of fell off. The carnivore diet's a hard diet. It's hard.
It's difficult, huh?
Yeah,
Even
it really
if you're
is.
a big meat eater, it's hard because you crave carbs. You start craving carbs. Right?
Yeah, and it's not even so much the carbs, where it's just guac and guac is what you can eat, chicken, and even if you switch it up, it does. But it's a great diet,
Yeah, it's a great diet.
But I found that if I'm very consistent with it, and I take a little bit a break, but in that break that I'm not on that diet, as long as I watch what I'm doing, and I can right now, I just got back on it.
Yeah. So
I'm back in it in 3-4 weeks, and then I'll get off of it. But little habits, 20 push-ups is better than no push-ups.
Exactly.
And so throughout my routine now, I probably do 150 push-ups in a day. Because when I get up in the morning, I'll instantly go to my other room, I'll do my prayer, my meditation, my stretches, and my push-ups. I'll do 20 push-ups there. Nice. Then I'll brush my teeth, I'll change for the gym, head to the gym and do my workout. Then when I come back, and I shower. After I get out of the shower and I change, I do my push-ups right there. I do another 20 push-ups. And then when I get to the office in the morning, I do my 20 push-ups. Right before lunch, I'll do 20 push-ups. When I get home, I'll do another 20 push-ups.
Dang,
so like,
man.
but it's like, it's not bad because 20 push-ups is fairly easy. But if you think about it, you go 150 at the end of the day, you're just like, damn, but I'm tired and I got this and I got that. So you just got to make it attractive. And so for me, it's spreading out throughout the day. So.
Oh yeah, I like that. It's like kind of like looking at a staircase and just going step by step instead of looking the whole staircase.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I feel that.
Basically what you're doing with your push-ups. I would consider you a pretty successful business owner, you know, a roofing company owner. How do you push yourself to like be doing push-ups throughout the day, or like starting out your day with a prayer and then the meditation? Like, what pushes you to have a routine and to be fit and be on diets?
Yeah, no, well, I appreciate that. First of all, you have something amazing here too, bro. Like, your guys' branding is awesome. The videos that you put out is great. Like,
thank you.
Does good because you get a lot of good engagement, you know. And so, but like for me, it's just like your routine is everything, man. Like, there's like, it's just something that you can like rely on. Like, you know, I'm a huge reader, dude. Like, I'm on my 4th book. I just finished my 4th book literally before I got here, which is Atomic Habits. I'll roll into my 5th book, and it's a little short book, so I'll finish that like super fast. But like, I'm reading like anywhere from 400 pages to 600 pages in a week, you know. But I enjoy it. I love it. Like, that's one of my newest things that I have. Matter of fact, like this year for my 4 roles, because to answer your question, like, I'll take it a little bit back before that, right? Like, we have so many roles. Like, do you know, you do invoicing, so your accounts receivable. You pay your bills, so your accounts payable. You know, you're a butcher because you're back out there. Then you're a business owner. You're an influencer.
Marketing.
You know, marketing, and then advertising. Besides that, you're a son. Do you have any? Do you have siblings?
Yes.
So you're a brother, you're a cousin, like
Theo.
And so for me, like, I'm a golfer, like, I'm an athlete, like, you know, I do accounts payable, accounts receivable, admin, sales manager, you know, and so you add all of those roles up, and you have anywhere from 20 to 30 roles that you're doing, that you are. And it's so hard in a world that's so fast to like really be good at all those things. So we're always mediocre at best. And so for me, I focus on my 4 biggest roles. You could have more, but for me, it's 4 like main roles that I want. 1 is to be a leader, 2 is to be a disciple, 3 is a reader, and 4 is an athlete. And so for my routine, like, when I know what my 4 like most impactful things that I have to build my life around, a routine is just part of that. It's so easy when you like when now that I know like what I need to focus on, I build my day around what I'm trying to do. So like as a leader, you know, if I show you my phone, I have a win rate app, which is a consulting group that I'm a part of. It'll say, for me, it'll say great, GREAT. G is gratitude. Before I get out of bed, I say 3 things that I'm grateful for. R is for reader, so I read at least 15 minutes. I read more than 15 minutes, but that's my minimum. So if I'm super busy, 15 minutes. E is exercise. A is add value. And T is transform. At the end of the day, I go, what are 3 things and what did I transform? Like, who did I transform, right? And so I do that so that I build my habits around that, and that's for me. And then I talk with God, that's for me. For someone else, it's a text of gratitude. Every day, I send 1 text of gratitude. That could be to somebody in my business. That could be somebody that I haven't talked to in such a long time. And I send that text, hey bro, like, hope all is well, man. I know we haven't talked and connected, but just hope everything is good. If you ever need me, like, reach out. And then for my business, I do my financial check-in. So I check my bank accounts. I look what cash in, cash out, my personal finances, doing my budgeting. And then I check my Monday, which is a project management software that I have for deadlines and stuff like that. And then that's pretty much it. And so I build my life around that. So my routines are just to make sure that the most important things don't get overlooked.
Well, that's good, man. And right now it's going so good for you. And I think that's exactly why, because you have that routine. And let's say the day of tomorrow, everything starts falling apart. You at least still stick to that routine to build it back up. You know? And hopefully, obviously, thank God it's not going to happen. But you have that routine to stick to. You have that discipline, and nobody can take that away from you. You know, they could take everything else, but they can't take that.
100%, bro. And like, you've had bad days,
Of course.
Like, sometimes more than good days, you know? Just depends. And but like, that routine is something that it's a constant. Like, hey, today was a crappy day, like, I'm gonna go to bed, but guess what, tomorrow's a completely new day.
Exactly.
You know? And so that's the way you kind of got to look at it.
Right. So you got your routine down, and you mentioned that you do a prayer every day in the morning.
Yeah, in the morning and before I go to bed. So
does that kind of tie into like your faith and what you believe
Yeah.
in is?
And so that'd be my role number 2. So that's
Yeah.
my disciple.
Yeah.
Like just having a better prayer life. You know, like trying to live my life and like my actions in my business through scriptures and his teachings and stuff like that. And I'm the worst example, bro. Like trust me, like I am nowhere near perfect, but like I'm trying. That's one of my things that I'm on. And that's one of the things is like is that relationship. Whatever religion it is, man. Like it is. You could believe in Hermit the Crab, or you could believe in God. Like you don't have to believe in what I believe in, but I mean that's what holds me grounded. Yeah. So before I leave like my house in the morning, like I'm grounded, dude. Like
nice.
I'm ready for the day because
where's your foundation.
Yep,
at.
exactly.
You have that foundation.
100%.
Yeah, I like that. And so, like, how do you think that's impacted your life and your business?
Well, I tell people this, like, and I have something that I review every day. It's my purpose. I am, I will, never again, my core values and my reminders. And one of my reminders is, I have 3 reminders. And one of my reminders is that my energy sets the tone for every room that I'm in. So like if I come in like as a boss, like for yourself, bro, like you come in and you're like having a bad day and you think, I'm so good at putting it off, and you go, hey, good morning, and you go into your office, they'll go like, what the heck, what's wrong with this guy, like, who's shit on his Cheerios? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's one of those things that like you think you're good, but like you set the energy in every room that you're a part of. So they're gonna be like, oh, here comes this guy again, or like, heck yeah, man, like people get excited and get energized from you being around. So that's one of my reminders. But like for me, like that's what I'm trying to get at, is that like for me that's impacted. Like I set the energy in my business. Like when I get in, if you're not having a bad day, guess what? Like I always tell people, like one thing about me, like I'm so in control of what, like I'm so grounded, like, and I'm so calm under pressure. Like people come to you. Like if you're somebody, like you're a comfort for somebody, they're gonna come to you. If they have problems, they're gonna come to you. Like my business, like they understand we have an open line of communication. So the thing is that they can come to me and they can expect like just the truth. And I'm not like, oh, you messed up. Like, dude, I encourage mistakes in my business. Win fast, win often. But the only way that you win is the more reps that you get in, and over more reps, you're going to fail more times.
Right.
So if you fail more, but you win because you're learning from those, like, that's the only way. I can't tell you that the reason why I'm up here is because of all my failures.
Right.
The times that I've almost went out of business, bro, it's like December of 2023, literally before this 2024, like, bro, I was a month and a half away. Like, but now, like, I'll never be in that position ever again because it hurt so bad. And like those moments were so tough that I'm like, dude, I'm gonna do everything at all costs to avoid that, and it is. And so, but I've learned from all those mistakes. I've learned from all the people that I kept on too long that end up hurting the business. I learned so you learn, and so that's why I encourage people to fail in my business all the time.
I like that. It's definitely when you're teaching somebody new, they're obviously gonna fail. When you're new at owning a business, you're gonna fail. You're gonna let some customers down, and that's just the reality of the things. But you got to keep going. At the end of the day, you got to keep going, and I think that goes back into faith. If you start off with a prayer and you ask, hey God, like I'm just trying to be the best person that I can be here on earth, as a leader, as a disciple, as all those things that you mentioned, I think that's definitely a big factor in why you're successful, why other business owners are successful as well.
Yeah, and like you talked about failing, and I have this bracelet here. It's Proverbs 30:30. It says, "Lion amongst the beast, who retreats before nobody." And it's like that ties into the second quote that I have on my quote. So I have my 3 reminders, and then I have my quotes, and that leads into the other one, that failure is not final. And the only thing that really matters is the courage. It's because, bro, like the courage is the thing that really, really matters. Like, man, like it doesn't matter how many times you fall down. You hear that quote all the time. But bro, I just got back from this event in South Carolina. There's a guy there that just got his 2024 rocked. Like you look at him and you're like, how are you still standing? But he's there and he's front row. And you just know that it's just a matter of time before, like, dude, this guy takes. And that's the most exciting thing. Like I was telling before we started the podcast, like one of my guys in all last year sold $600,000 in revenue, and he comes into the office this morning and he's all shaking and he's like, dude, like, you won't believe. I'm like, what's wrong? Like, calm down, like, relax, you know? And he's like, dude, like, and he's like shaking. He's like, I just got a call that we just won a $450,000 project. And one project in his second month of the year does more than 600,000. But I tell you, he failed a lot of times last year. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, man, I failure for me is like, it's one of those things that I encourage in my business. Like, especially like in the beginning, you have to be able to make those decisions in the future for sure.
Yeah. And I think it's important for us as leaders to be the example of that too. It's like, all right, this guy fails, but he gets back up. You know, there's nothing that can stop this guy. Sometimes, like, what can it stop him, you know? Yeah. I like that. I like that.
And you got to check it out sometime. It's called the Man in the Arena, but it's pretty much, it's a quote, but it's pretty much about, like, man, like, it doesn't matter. The man in the arena is the one that matters, not the opinions of the people that aren't in the arena. Because you got a lot of spectators, bro. You got a lot of Monday night quarterbacks that say, oh, well, the Chiefs this, and Mahomes sucks, and this, and that. And they're like, yeah, they're saying that as they're picking their belly button, getting lint out of there, eating their ice cream. Like, dude, like, it's so easy for you to say that, you know. But it matters is people like you that are in here every single day with the blood, the sweat, and the tears, going through it. Because at the end of the day, we know what failure is like. Right. Unlike those cold and timid souls that know victory or defeat. They don't know none of that. No victory nor defeat, because they're always just in their comfort zone. 100%. You want to do something great, it's going to cost you. Yeah. It might not come easy. Yeah. So, but it's about the man in the arena.
Yeah, I remember at the beginning of last year, I had like a five goals that I wanted to achieve that year. And I achieved every single one except one where I put first, supposedly on my board, and it said, put God first. I feel like last year I didn't put God first, and that's what I'm trying to change this year. Yeah. I'm trying to change that, like, because I feel like I didn't put him first. I put the business first. Yeah. And we achieved all the other achievements that I put on that list, we achieved it because I put my business first. But I feel like this year I want to achieve many things with this business, but I want to achieve things with God too. Yeah, yeah, you know?
100%.
Spread that too.
Yeah, dude, and like we're at this event in South Carolina, bro. And we're doing like your why, and it's this exercise, and I won't get into it, but the point is that we're just over there sniffling, bro. Everybody's sniffling, bro. You have dudes in construction, 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds, 30-years, doesn't matter. Like, dude, like some bad dudes in there, and they're sniffling over there, and because you know there's so many things that you know you hear the thing that says the truth will set you free, right. And we're getting just slapped across the face at this event. It's a leadership event, and so I go to the hotel room that night, and that was like the first day that leaving. It was a Friday, so it was the first day leaving that event. And so I had the day prior, I had put leader, disciple, reader, and athlete. Mm-hmm. And so I'm there, and I'm like, man, this kind of feels weird, because everything feels weird in the beginning. Now I'm praying, now I'm talking to God. I'm like, just like, allow me to like make the best decisions as a leader. Like, like at the end of the day, I'm gonna trust what you put in front of me, because there's a reason, and sometimes I can't see the reason, but I'm gonna just allow you and give you all of my trust. Literally. That was the night before. So then the next day, bro, I had to let go of my admin. Mm-hmm. This is just this last Friday. I just got back. So on Thursday night, I let go of my admin. I let go of a real good friend of mine, like brothers, my production manager, and I let go of one of my sales guys. No hate for none of them. I love them all both. But like, you ask God for something, and you ask him for wisdom, and then he slaps you with that. You know, you lose 3 employees in less than 24 hours. And so sometimes, like, it's so hard to, like, see, like, man, like, you know, like, why is this happening to me? Right. And for me, man, like, I'm at so peace. Like, I don't owe nobody nothing. You know, I don't owe no money to nobody. I don't owe no favors to nobody. Like, I'm doing my life. Like, I'm trying to do as best as I can. And in a position like you as a boss and as an owner and, you know, as a leader, like, There's people always going to be, oh, why'd you make that decision? And why'd you do that? And why aren't you adding this? And why aren't you adding that? You should do this with your store. And it's the thing is that, like, bro, if you allow that energy, it'll drive you crazy. Yeah. Because you're so worried about what everybody else is saying or what everybody else is opinion on. The only opinion that matters is yours.
Right.
Because this is your vision. This is what you're building. And that, like, people out there's a saying that goes like, hey, man, like, if you have an opinion about me, call me. And if you don't have my number to call me, then you don't have
the access
to have an opinion about me, because I don't know you like that. And so, yeah, man, business is crazy.
It is crazy.
But that's what's so addicting about it. Like, not every day is the same. Like, every day is totally different for me, bro.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trade it for nothing.
Same thing for me. Every day is different. And man, like, you wake up and you have that fire. You know, you have that fire in you that you just want to go, dude. You're excited to deal with what others would say problems, but for you make it solutions.
Yeah.
Because that's what leaders and business owners are. We're just like the big problem solvers. Because every day you're going to be, like you said, there's going to be obstacles. There's going to be people that you're going to have to let go. There's going to be people that are going to be complaining about something. You know, there's going to be people that tell you, you know, you can't or whatever it may be, but you have to be able to solve that problem every single day. And there's things that we don't see coming, like you didn't see the having to let go some employees. You didn't see it coming the day before, but you got to deal with it. Yeah. Because who else is going to deal with it? Yeah. You know, so you got to be that person.
Yeah. And life, and like I said, life is so fast, man. Yeah. And if you sit there and you just, why? Maybe it's not now, maybe later, maybe like you never pull the trigger. And that's why there's a lot of people, bro, that would be amazing business owners. Yeah. That would be really, really good business owners. But they're always stuck in that, like, process of their life of, like, I need to plan more and I need to plan more and I need to plan more. Mm-hmm. And they're planning and planning and planning before they know it. 10, 15 years go by and they never did anything about it. Right. And then they go back and go, man, I should have done that back in 2000, whatever. Like, I should have really done that. You know, it's one of those things, bro. Like, I got on a roofing by accident. I graduated high school in 17, moved over here in 2018. I sold vacuums for a month. I applied everywhere that I could possibly apply at. I got a job on Oregon Avenue in Pasco for MacArthur, who sold HVAC and roofing material. And I was going in there for an inside sales position job, and I didn't get the job. They gave it to somebody else, and I go, hey, look, like, we made it to the last interview, and I go, hey, well, thanks for the opportunity. If anything opens up, please let me know. Yeah. A day later, they call me back, and they go, hey, would you be interested in the loader position? I go, absolutely. I need a job. I have rent. Like, I don't even have I have a duplex. I don't have no stream of income. Like, I need a job. Like, I didn't care what it was. Yeah. And most people get caught up about, like, the vehicle, like, what it is. Like, dude, does it really matter? Like, if it's going to get you the life that you want, like, does it really matter what you have to do in the between? Like, because I'll tell you, like, for the rest of my life, like, I don't want to be a roofer. Right. You know, like, I don't want to, like, have a roofing company for the rest of my life. Like, this is something that, like, I'm going to do for the next 10 years because I committed to my team about it. But from then, I'm going to be able to build other multiple sources of income, because at the end of the day, I want to be with my family. I want to be with my friends. I want to be able to travel the world and do the things that I like to do. But this vehicle that I'm in now is what's going to get me from point A to point B, you know? Right. And that's built around what my lifestyle was. Like, if you want to go from here to Winco, you could walk. Mm-hmm. But if you want to go from here to Spokane, you probably have to drive. Right. And if you want to go from here to Paris, you probably got to fly. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, like, what is it that you're going to get it from point A to point B? And in order to know where you want to go, you got to know where you're at. Mm-hmm. Like, that's a very important part that people miss. Like, right. Hey, like, where are you at? Like, I am right here, and this is where, and you got to be real with yourself. Like, you got to get down and ugly about it. Like, this is where I'm at. Like, I might be overweight. I'm unhealthy. I'm, like, financially broke. Like, I'm not very mentally there. Like, my week goes by and I don't do nothing about it, and I play video games, and then what is I play video games too, like, not judge, but, like, you gotta get to a point to where you're like, hey, this is my life. Mm-hmm. And if I gotta get over there, I gotta leave a lot of this stuff behind. Right. And sometimes that's where they say, like, growing sometimes mean people leaving behind. Like, you gotta leave people behind sometimes, man.
Sometimes you do. And I remember before we opened here, I would tell my coworkers in the Pasco location, I would tell them the vision that I had for here. That's crazy. I would tell them about the Wagyu. I would tell them about the steaks that I wanted to sell. And I talked about it with so much, like, passion, like so much like positiveness about around it, right? But then they would tell me like, you really think that you're gonna sell that? Like they would like, trying to make me think, but also throwing a little bit of shade, or but also like you said, I wasn't seeing where I was at. But I think in the long run, it kind of helped me, because I was like a kid with a vision that was kind of insane, if you really think about it. Like I wanted to be known like statewide, and I still do, obviously. But like I was just this kid with a vision that was kind of crazy, because a Mexican meat market selling Wagyu and steaks, like you don't find that. It's not very often that not
at all.
Yeah.
No.
So like they would probably look at me like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, what makes you think that you can do that? And I think that craziness kind of got me here, because I saw that. I was able to see that, and nobody could tell me otherwise,
Wait, and you're not the only one, bro. But like, I mean, you think about it, and you like, I have an iPad that's like this thin. Like, it's crazy. Like, where it used to be a computer, it was huge. Like, you couldn't move it, And those people that built the computers were always the people that like, had this vision. Right. And that craziness is what got them to there, because now, because of them, we have iPads, we have MacBooks and all that stuff, right? But what I'm saying is that sometimes you need that craziness. Sometimes, like, again, if you plan and plan and plan, you'll never, because you're always going to feel like you're never enough. Mm-hmm. When I bought my business, because I bought it, I didn't start it. This business has been around since 2017. I bought it in 2021. But after I went to go work for MacArthur as a loader, I had to stack the bundles of shingles for the contractors. Then I went to go work for a roofing company, and everything was great there until it wasn't. And I had the worst experience at that company. Mm-hmm. And so I ended up leaving. I put my 2 weeks in and said, hey, you know what? Like, I'm 21 and I'm freaking miserable. Like, I was about to be 22, like literally in a month. Mm-hmm. And I'm freaking miserable. Like, I'm not like a month away from pension. So what am I doing? So I left, and I had built such a great relationship with my sales rep from where we bought our material, that when I left, he told one of his customers that was trying to retire, mm-hmm. hey, Noe's trying to leave the industry. You should call him and see if he'd be interested in buying your business. Mm-hmm. So he calls me unannounced. Dan didn't tell me. He goes, hey, this is Alan. I own A&A Roofing. He goes, hey, would you be interested in buying my roofing company? I'm trying to retire, and I heard that you're leaving the industry. And I said, absolutely not. I said no. Yeah, I said, no, bro. I said, I had $6,000 to my bank account. I had $6,000 to my bank account because I had just bought a racehorse, and I had just bought Ava, who's my pocket-sized American bully. So I spent like $15,000 because at the time I was a sales guy. I was making a lot of money. Like I made more money, doing that than the first year as a business owner, And so at the time I'm like, no, I have $6,000 to my bank account. I said, absolutely not. He goes, well, come over for dinner. So after the second time of going over for dinner, I agreed to buy his business on a seller finance deal. Mm-hmm. And then I also agreed to buy the house that he lived in through a mortgage company. But he wanted to do for sell by owner. But he was so cheap that he didn't want to hire a realtor. He wanted to save that extra buck. But he ended up leaving like $80,000 in equity on the table. So when I bought in 2021, I bought for $380 in Canyon Lakes. Like it's worth a lot more than that. But at the same time, he did the seller finance deal. But I had $6,000 in my bank account. So it was a seller finance deal for a certain amount, but I had to give him $50,000 down. Dude, I was $44,000 short, And that's where, I had a month to raise it. And I couldn't even raise $5,000 to pay my bills, as a 18-year-old, 19-year-old, Then I had to raise $50,000 in a month, and we made it happen. My dad ended up selling his trucking company. And then he came to work for me. I gave him a job as our, in production. So he moves all of our trailers, make sure the guys have everything that they need. But he was only able to give me $25,000. My uncle let me borrow $10,000. That was $35,000. I had a roofing company here in town let me borrow $5,000. Mm-hmm. And then the last $5,000 that I needed, dude, I used to sell Amway vitamins back in high school. I used to just hustle. And this guy that I sold Amway vitamins to, he was like a crackhead. Like, why lie? Like, he was like a crackhead. Like, you showed up, and he had, just you picture a house with, 2 mobile homes and fifth wheel and like 2 abandoned cars and just like a mess everywhere. And I would sell vitamins to him. He'd pay me, so I didn't care if he was a crackhead or if he lived in Beverly Hills. Like, he was paying for the vitamins, right? Well, then he calls me. He goes, hey, I heard what you're trying to do. I bumped into your dad at the grocery store, and I'd like to contribute to a good cause. He goes, I have some money laying around that I'm not using. How about I let you borrow the $5,000? I give you the $5,000. He goes, and then when you start your roofing company, come just do the installation at my shop. I'm like, what? The last $5,000 that I needed, bro. I had already asked everybody. I had nobody to ask. This guy calls me.
He called you.
He called me.
Dang.
Never forget him. His name is Jim. Forever and and dude, I paid him back. I paid everybody back within a month of being in business.
Thank God.
But like, we raised the money in March 1st, 2021. We signed, and since then it's been history, bro.
That's amazing, bro. It's a blessing.
But if you would have had, if I would have had been smart enough to be like, oh, well, I only have $6,000, like. The ROI and the risk, it doesn't pencil out. Like, there's no way. Like, no, I'm not ready.
If you waited for the perfect season, it would have never came.
100%.
And that's what happens to a lot of people. Like you mentioned before, you wait 5, 10, 15 years, you wait for the perfect season. It's never going to come. Perfect season doesn't exist. You make it. You know, you make it. You learn through everything. You make things happen, and that being a good person goes a long way. Because those people would have never lended you that money or gave it to you if you weren't a good guy, you know?
Yeah.
So I think being a good person, being an honorable person, respectful, telling the truth, being a man of your word, that can get you longer ways than anything else, you know?
Bro, that was so spot on. Like, first of all, some day is like the 8th day of the week. Like, it doesn't exist, right? So someday, like, that's never going to come.
Exactly, yeah.
Second of all, like, what you just said, like, if people could just take that just piece and apply it into their lives, a year from now they'd be a totally different person. And the reason why I say that is because what you just said is what we, like, one of our core values is be truthful of truthful of yourself and to others, and then be authentic, do the right thing when nobody else is watching. We have strive through excellence through personal development. And the thing is, the last one is the most important one, which is everything that we do is hashtag Saved by Relationships, is value and foster long-term relationships. It's on our trucks, it's on our business cards, it's on anything. And I started the hashtag Saved by Relationships because of that phone call that I received that day. Because of every relationship that I did prior to doing that. You want to know all of my field guys that I have in the field right now, at least all of my foremen and then some, all came from when I used to load their roofs. When I got that first job at MacArthur, I used to, like, when they said I was a loader, I thought I was going to offload and load trucks with a forklift. I showed up and they gave me a harness and a rope, and they said, you're going to be loading the roofs for them. My first 2 houses were for CNC Construction.
That's great.
Great guys. But they do a lot of work down in Oregon, and they had 2 houses that were like this. My first 2 houses. I almost quit that day. But they're like, hey, this doesn't happen. And I never quit in anything in my life. But as I started doing the job, I had a good attitude about it. Hey, if you were a roofer and you said, hey, can you give me 2 bundles over there and 3 over there and 4 over there? I'd go, yeah, absolutely. And I'd do it. You ask people that now, and they're like, hey, that's not my job. You know, like, hey, you know, like, I'm going to leave them here and then you guys could do with it. But those guys that I gave that customer service to were also the guys that would tell me, damn, bro, my boss sucks. Like, he didn't give me a raise this year. Like, these guys suck. They don't treat you well. They do this. They do that. So when I started my own business, when I bought the business, guess who were the first people that I called? Those people that were on the roof telling me all their things. I remember we met at Milindo, Nayarit, and they were all cousins. And I called one of them and I said, I need you to get all of your cousins. I'm going to buy everybody lunch. I said, meet me over here. I said, I have a job offer for all of them. All of them had been roofing for 10, 15 plus years. They're early 40s to mid 40s. So reliable. You don't ever have to worry about them.
Family guys.
Your family guys.
Those are the guys you want.
Yeah. So I meet up with them. We're all talking. I get them some beers. And, that could have been a plan or not. And then I gave him some food. And then at the end, I said, hey, man, like, this is my vision. Just like you talked about, you're the only one with the Wagyu and the steaks and, like, the prime meats. Like, you know, like that was a vision for me. I casted that to them. we had 2 trucks and 1 dump trailer. That's all we had. Mm-hmm. And I remember telling him, like, this is my vision. Like, I want to be one of the biggest. Like, I want to do work in Oregon and Idaho and Washington. Like, I want to be one of the fastest growing companies here. We're going to be one of the biggest growing companies. And I'm going to treat you guys right. I'm going to give you guys bonuses. I'm going to give you guys Christmas parties. Like, I'm not a micromanager. I want to give you guys the ability to be able to be having a business within my business, you know, type of deal like that. Yeah. And just telling them everything about what I believed in, bro. Well, all of them said yes, except for one of the brothers, but everybody in that, there was a 6 of them, and that's how I started my commercial cruise. And so with those, I didn't have a truck for them, so I had to go buy a truck. I didn't have the money, so I just went and took a loan out at McCurley and gave them a truck, and those were my 2 first commercial crews, and all of those guys are still with me to this day.
Nice.
So, yeah, dude, relationships are so important. Everything that you said, being a good person, being a man of your word. Yeah. I can't tell you the amount of times that I've told somebody and then it happens and I'm like, damn, like, I really don't want to do it. Like, but I told you, so I'm going to have to, you know? And guys will remember that. And everything that I told them I was going to give them, they have it. Bonuses and Christmas party. And like I said, bro, I'm just so grateful for them. Every day I wake up, I'm grateful for everything that I have. Mm-hmm. My house, my bed, my truck, my parents, my business, being able to give a better life to some of my foremen. Didn't even finish high school in Mexico. Some of my foremen making $80,000-$85,000 a year.
That's beautiful, man.
That's life changing, bro.
That is.
You know, and so I'm grateful for them because they allow me to have what I have, and in return I get to bless them back. Yeah. Because of their hard work.
Yeah, that's powerful. A lot of people don't see that, but like, every time someone like yourself starts a business, you're creating jobs, you're creating opportunities, and you're sometimes changing people's lives. 100%. A lot of people don't see that, and they hate on small businesses. They want to support corporations and all that, but people like me and you, we're the ones that are keeping this country going 100%, around, bro.
I mean, it's so true. And look at what you just did today for Felix. Yeah. What did he say in his video? Bro, like, nobody's ever done this for me. Mm-hmm. Because you got him a Traeger for his birthday. It was a Traeger, right? Yeah. Like, he said, nobody's ever done this for me. Yeah. I've known people that, like, I didn't know at the time, but, like, he was like, why is he crying? It's his 50th birthday. Well, bro, that was his first time anybody celebrated his birthday.
That's crazy.
I go, what the heck? Like, what? Yeah. And they showed up, and they're like, yeah, this is the first time they ever said. I'm like, 50 years old? Like, what about as a kid? Like, you know what I mean? But, like, being a business owner sometimes allows, bro, is one of the most beautiful things. Like, not the money, not the growth. Like I told you before we started, like, we grew 149%. That's insignificant, bro, compared to that conversation that I had with my guy earlier today about him winning that job. Yeah. He was so proud of himself. About my guys going up to me and be like, hey, bro, like, appreciate you so much for allowing me to be able to go pick up my daughter and my kids and take them home real quick from it, because I was so worried. I don't know who was going to be able to do that for me. Yeah. Like, I'm so grateful. And you have other guys, hey man, like one of my sales guys that I found on the street canvassing for Renewal by Anderson, and I told him, hey, you want a job? And he goes, yeah, I'm interested. And I gave him my number and I drove off. I was like, I'm not looking for a sales guy. I was just punking with them. And then he called me and called me and called me and called me. And then he's like, I'm serious. Like, I really want the job. I'm like, oh my gosh. Because at the time, bro, like, sales guys overpromise and they underdeliver. And I was just like, dude, it was my baby. That was my first sales guy. Well, my first sales guy that I have with me now came from that. And he came up to me the other day. He goes, bro, like, I wouldn't be able to, like, I honestly, and I have the text. He goes, I can't tell you enough how much this job has meant for me, because it's changed me as a person. And I honestly wouldn't be able to tell you where I'd be without it. And it was right after our team dinner that we had. And I go, dude, that's so crazy, man. Like, because you're living your life and you're making the hard decisions, getting up and doing the things that a lot of people aren't willing to do, right. Going through the heartaches and the problems that I'm sure, like, starting this and continue to maintain it. And I've seen some construction work that you're doing. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's probably caused some unexpected, like, things that have came up, and you're like, oh my God, like, you're telling me I have to spend this much more? But because of your sacrifices, the people that shop here, nobody's thinking about like when they're eating their wok and their their steaks or whatever, like, oh man, thanks bro, like appreciate you, man, like because of everything that you did. Hey, remember when you didn't have enough money to do payroll and you paid yourself? Like, thank you, because of you I'm eating this right now. People that shop here, they don't know none about that stuff. Because of the people, the sacrifices that you did. People can come here and at lunch and have a meal that warms their belly. They can come in here, they can have some meat that they take to spend time with their family. Just like the steak that I bought from here, that I took home, that I cooked, bro, that relationship there, now I have one of a real good promising employee for my business. But people don't understand that.
Exactly. And I always viewed the importance of like selling quality, and like, because I knew that meat was going to be used in a household where like it's with your family. You want to enjoy something. Like, the importance of quality is there, you know, the demand is there. There just wasn't that much supply. So that's where I came in, you know. But I wanted to touch, I don't think a lot of people talk about this, but young business owners, I feel like we're sometimes overlooked, but people don't understand that we just want to get help. And what I mean by that is like when you recruited your crew, you just wanted to help, right? You just wanted somebody to believe in your vision. And that's the most difficult thing. But once you get people to believe in your vision, everything else seems like it kind of gets easier. But like, there's a lot of people that do crooked things and stuff like that. But
a ton.
But like, but like, very few times is it a new guy, a young guy starting out, because he doesn't have that like malice in him. Like, he just wants to grow in his industry, right? You just want to change your industry in whatever way you can, but you're trying to recruit those people so you can fulfill that vision that you have. And I think I see that in you, you know, and I've experienced that as well through my growth. Because at first I just wanted somebody to buy into what I was talking about.
Buy into you.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
Just
like,
into yourself.
I just wanted somebody to hear me out. And thank God for my dad, dude, because he's the owner of this building, and I leased this building from him, and he believed in it, you know. And there was times where he would question it,
Chills,
just like any
bro.
dad. Just like any dad, there was days where he would question it and be like, you know what, like, I don't know about these steaks, like, I don't know about this Wagyu, because we started selling it in Pasco, but then once we opened here, like, we kind of just started pushing it out here, and then yeah, man, we kind of just blew up on social media, and that helped us a lot, tremendously. But yeah,
no, you guys, I mean, but I don't think that social media for sure helped, don't get me wrong, but like, it was like what you had in here, bro. Like, you wanting to sell you, like, you sell you, everything will follow, right? And what I mean by that is that, like, bro, like, the most impactful person in my life is my parents. And I'm a mommy's boy. I love my mom. But I don't give, and I would just be vulnerable with you, I don't give a lot of credit as much as I should to my dad. I was the only child. But, like, you talk about, like, I remember, like, when I was applying for jobs, like, I knew what I had. And I remember just, like, going to interviews sometime, like, just out of desperation, like, if somebody would just believe in me, like, I could do, just because I'm 18, I was so mature at my age, bro, because 2 years prior to that, like, I just read, and I was around, like, I would go to I was part of Amway, and so, like, I had the vision of, like, having, like, the luxuries and having the house and having the lifestyle, and so I believed in it so much. And I remember just, like, always, like, wanting, like, somebody just please take a chance on me. Like, take a chance on me, and I promise you won't regret it, you know? And you do that, but, like, one person that took the chance on me was my dad, just like your dad, bro.
Right.
When I needed the money the most, and when I, like, knew that this was it, that, like, if I pass up on this opportunity, somebody else was going to buy this business.
Right.
It wasn't, and I didn't want to, like, look 3 years down the road and look at the person that bought this and go, that would have been me. Like, oh my God, like, I couldn't have been able to live with that. But I didn't have the money. The first person that I went to that I could trust was my dad.
Dad.
So I told my dad about it. I'm pitching him, bro. Like, dude, like, remember how you said that you hated, like, for the last 2 years of his trucking company, he was miserable. Absolutely miserable. Like, he would bring that home, but he was only doing the best that he could, right? And just, I mean, if you worked 7 days a week, 16 hours, bro, and you still can't make ends meet, like, it hurts you.
It's difficult.
And I remember, like, he would always tell me, like, mijo, like, what business can I own that I could sell my company and do? And if you know my dad, like, he's like, it's my way or the highway. And I'm like, bro, like, keep looking, because with your attitude, like, you're not gonna be in a customer service business, like, and you can't take orders from somebody, so you can't just go and you do something, right? And so I was like, just wait on it, like, once I know, like, I'll let you know. And I call him, I'm like, it's gonna sound crazy, and I just barfed my whole idea on him. This is what this owner does. He showed me his numbers, and he's doing this amount of gross profit, and if I take it and I multiply it by this, like, this is what we can make, and this is what I could do. Like, you could sell just sell your trucking company, come work for me, I'll give you a set salary, you could work Monday through Friday, you don't have to worry about weekends no more, like I'll take care of you, yada yada yada. And keep in mind, this is a guy that's seen me fail throughout my life, that's seen me say, hey, I'm gonna do something and I don't do it, that say I'm gonna start something and I don't finish it, like, every single, like, my whole life, right?
Yeah.
And now I go up to him and I tell him to sell the business that he has owned for the last decade, the same that has put me through high school and gives me everything that I've gotten, the same business that built our house out in the country, like, everything that was because of that business and him, right? And I'm asking him to sell it for it because of my business idea. And I'm 22. I just turned 22. And he's like, what the heck? Like, he has years of experience on me. And he'd be like, well, let me think about it. And I'd call my mom and like, hey, mom, what you doing? He's like, no, your dad hasn't slept. And he just tossing turns. And he asked me, like, if I think that it's smart and this and that. And, like, I'm hustling, trying to get all the money from everybody else. Yeah. My dad calls me. And he goes, you just got to promise me one thing. He goes, that if times get tough, you can't quit. Just promise me that. Bro, you could ask me to do anything and I would have done it, right? I'm like, I promise. Like, I'm, like, in my phone, bro, like, just hella excited. Like, I promise, like, do it. Like, I won't give up. Like, and I'm selling them again on everything. He's like, all right. He goes, I don't know nothing about roofing. And if you say that this is what it is, then let's do it. So when people say, is this your dad's business? Like, he's not an owner. I say, but anything's my dad's. Anything that I have is my dad's. This business is my dad's. My house is my dad's. Because if it wasn't for that, man, if it wasn't for what he was able to do, think about the amount of trust he had to put in me, bro. We talk about having trust. Like, hey, bro, let me borrow $1,000. Hey, I'm going to trust you. Give it back, you know, like, pay it back. That's not fucking trust. Yeah. Trust is what that man did for me, like, to be able to give me all of his livelihood, put all the marbles in, and for that, him and my mom will forever be taken care of.
That's love. It's the ultimate form of love.
Absolutely, bro. Like, it's just one of those things, man. That's my core, you know? Yeah. And so, and since then, we've had our moments and stuff like that, but, like, now we have, like, the best relationship ever, bro. It's the most beautiful thing. Yeah. It's crazy because he's getting older, you know, and I'm just like, dude, like, what the heck? Like, is this you talking to me? Like, coming from the dude that would, like, you'd look at him and I'd be getting my butt kicked. Like, super disciplined, like, hey, like, and I was the only child. People like, oh my God, you were so spoiled. No, I wasn't. Hell no, I wasn't. Yeah. Like, I remember, dude, there's so much things about my dad, but just to get to your point, dude, like, those are the people that you need to value. And a lot of the times we see that somebody's trying to help you out or you help somebody out and they turn around and they stab you in the back. Yeah. You know, more than often. But, like, I don't ever allow that to be a reason why I don't trust in somebody. I give you the benefit of the doubt, even though, you know, like, it doesn't matter what my past experience were with other people. Like, hey, like, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt because I have good judgment that you're a good person. Yeah. You know what I mean? So. Yeah.
Dads are so important. Like, super important. Especially for, as examples to us, you know, our leaders, our heroes. And I think at first when you're young, you know, you try to, like I've said this before, you try to demonize them. You know, you're always arguing with them like, oh, you don't really know. But then you grow a little bit older and you're like, dang, like, they were right this whole time.
All the time.
They were right this whole time. And the older, and I'm sure the older that I get, the more that I'm going to be like, dang, man, like, And that's when you start to grow respect, and then the relationship ends up flourishing and growing like never before, because they start to see you like they see you succeed, and they're like, dang man, that's my son, you know. And then no, it's because of you, dad, you know. Like when they're proud of you, like you're proud of them, and it's like, it's just a beautiful thing, man.
That's so crazy, man. Like you nailed it again, bro. Like that is so true. I mean, my dad, like exactly like how you said, I have almost on a daily, bro. Some of them, like early on in business, like my second year, third year in business, like my dad would tell me something. One of them was like, my dad was like, don't get the shop. Don't get the shop. You don't need the shop. You can use my house. Don't get the shop. And just because of status, like, I have this big ass shop, you know, like out in West Richland, like, and I was paying for it, bro. We never stocked anything in it because that year was the worst year ever. And so we couldn't even afford to buy things in bulk. So we paid for a full lease for a full year on a shop that we never even used. And my dad's like, I told you. And it just in things like that and things that I grew up like, man, like I wish I would have listened to you such a long time ago, you know. And then now, like, you will have the conversations and like, some guy would be calling me like, I talked to your dad the other day. He's like, dude, he's so proud of you. He did not shut up about you. My son this and my son that, and oh my gosh, if you sell all my son. And my dad's naturally a sales guy. Like the dude could sell ice to an Eskimo. Like he's just like gifted like that. That's why I feel like I learned a lot of my selling skills. And you look at that, and then I'm like, no, man, but it's because of you. Yeah. You know. And then there's that, but I'm so proud of you, and it's just like, you know, that's the best cycle of love, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, there's those moments where like other people are like, hey man, I just got off the phone with your dad, or I just went to your dad's shop and I had to come over here and visit you, and then they'll you know, slide that like, oh, like your dad's so proud of you, by the way. I don't know if he tells you, but we were just talking about you, and he's talking about all these things that you do over here in the store, and he's so proud of you. That's the best feeling that you could ever get.
Yeah. And I'm still learning to be a better son, bro. Like, I still don't, like I tell you, I don't, like, because of my relationship with him, like, he was always on me and on me and on me and on me. Like, he just made me, like, very independent. Like, very, very independent. And so, like, now, like, I'll see my dad texting me, and I'll look it up, and she's like, mijo, te quiero mucho. And, like, random, bro. Like, so Saturday, I'm like, I was like, it naturally just want to give a thumbs up because like I'm so like I don't know how to react to that, you know, because for so long like that's how it was, and now it's so hard, like, you know, like even like I could give my mom a hug and a kiss on the cheek all the time, and then I go to my dad and I give him like the side hug, like, hey, what's up, dad, and like the awkward tap on the shoulder, you know. Even though that I know he wants to hug me, but I'm just like, bro, I'm not perfect, but that man deserves everything. Him and my mom.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like parents, we owe them everything for sure. Dang, I was gonna say something about the dad thing.
Yeah,
the affectionate thing, but we're gonna get lost in that.
I could talk about my dad, my mom, and parenting all day, and like, you know, just like upbringing and just like, you know, like just how we grew up and everything. And it has such for me, like it has such a big deal about like who I am. Like on my I am never part of my exercise is like I will never lose my humility. Like it doesn't matter. Like I do not forget where I came from. Like I love, like my favorite meal, bro, when I tell my mom, like she's like, hey, if you could cook me anything, is some rice and some beans with chorizo, right? Refried beans with some chorizo, some carne seca, and some homemade tortillas and spicy sauce, bro. I could eat that all day long. Like, and that's just, I love that. Like, you know, that all this stuff, like the Wagyu and stuff, like, bro, that's bougie. Like, that's a luxury. That's nice. Don't get me wrong. That's tasty. But like, I don't remember where I came from, man. Like growing up, like I tell a story all the time to people. Like I remember like looking at my Honda, like for $5. That's the $5 foot long at Subway. And I remember like, oh, dude, I'm starving. I hadn't ate. Like this is like, my dad is like, I'm not giving you money. Like, all you do is you spend your money. So I was like, screw you, I don't need your money, you know? So I'm like really needing his money. And I'm trying to find these $5, and we're at the Hermiston Walmart with my best friend. I'm like, I'll get half, and you'll get half. So we get the $5. We go inside the Walmart. We go to the Subway. They just raised their prices. That was at the time where they went from the Subway, it was $5, and they raised it. So the only thing we could afford was a 6-inch. Bro, 2 grown-ass dudes sharing a 6-inch sub, bro. Oh, my gosh, bro. And then his worst fear is being short at the register. Like, he'll have all the money. You go, you pay for it. No, you pay for it. So I'm like, nah, bro, I'm pissed. Like, you go in for it. Like, if you're hungry here, and it was like $1, and that was when the grandma cookies were 99 cents, you know? And so he goes in there, or he gets a bag of chips. Like, it was a grandma cookies or a bag of chips, and he had enough, and he gives it to him. And with the taxes, it was over. And he's like, ah. And the guy's like, just take them, bro. Just take them. He came back. He's like, even the dude, no. He's like, he just saw me in the eyes, bro. He just looked me in the eyes and was just like, just take them, bro. He's like, that's how broke we were, bro. Dang. So, like, I still live with, like, that mindset, bro. Like, yeah. All of this is nice, bro. But my parents didn't have none of that growing up. Yeah. You know, it was Payless shoe stores. That's where I bought my shoes. My basketball kicks, like, I have Jordans on, but my basketball kicks were Shaqs. You remember the Shaqs? Some big old brick,
I had
bro.
Shaqs.
I had some Shaqs. Those were my basketball shoes. Everybody had the Nikes. I had the Shaqs. Yeah. And ones,
yep.
Aeropostale with the big ass Aeropostale going down right here in like 5th grade. Like, bro, I just wherever you could get it. Like, that's just what it was. But you were happy because it was home. Like, you talk about the meat and like what you could able to, but bro, like, I remember, like, if we were gonna go get the carniceria, like, I remember walking into the carniceria, like, that smell of the marinated, like, meat, you know, the music going, you know, all that sort, like, all of that, bro, that just brings back triggers from, like, when I grew up, because I knew that if we were going on a Sunday, bro, we were gonna make carne asada that Sunday. And that was, like, a luxury. Like, now you have the Wagyu, but that was, like, bro, like, we had carnitas, and my mom would make some, like a salsa negra, and we would have carnitas and frijoles for, like, lunch the next day, you know? So,
and I understand that, too. Like you said, there's still people that once a week or every 2 weeks, a carnita asada is the luxury. You know? And I'm aware of that, too. It's like, I know that, obviously, we make tons of videos on Wagyu and the higher end meats, but we have, you know, we see the customers that their luxury is that once a week or once a month, whatever it might be, carne asada, you know, that's the luxury. And we're over here, you know, I'm always talking about Wagyu, but yeah,
you feel that, like, it's like you see, it was like you look at the little kid that's like pointing at the candy, and the mom's like it's all right, like, grab it, you know. And you're like, yes, let's go. So, you know, most of the times, like, no, we don't have enough. Like, we don't have enough. Like, go put it away. Like, we don't have enough. You'd go put it away, and that was it, bro. You know. And so, yeah, bro, like, and that's what I talk about, like, parents, and, like, we could talk about that subject all day long. Like, and I look back and I look at what some of the kids do nowadays. Like, bro, you're so ungrateful, bro. I could never, like, whoa, like, you talk to your mom like that? That's crazy. I would have got my ass kicked 7 ways to Sunday for doing that, you know? Yeah. It's just a different generation, bro.
For sure.
Which we've lost that culture, in my opinion.
Culture.
You shake people's hands when you get somewhere.
Yeah.
You know? When you go, hey, my dad would go, you didn't shake, he'd humiliate you at a party. You're not going to shake their hand? What? You don't know how to say hi? And you'd be able to, oh, hi, shaking everybody's hand, you know? Yeah. Those are that culture. You know, just being respectful at the, you know, phones, none of that stuff, and all those things that I learned, bro. I don't lose that culture for me, and I feel like that's why my business is successful. Yeah. Because I'm still very in touch with my culture and my upbringing and my roots, and being humble.
I think those are the guys that stand out. You know, those are the guys that you don't belittle anybody.
100%, bro.
That goes back into, like, being a good person.
Yes.
And seeing everybody as a person,
bro.
You can't belittle anybody, you know.
And 100%. Like, I tell, like, my friend Brandon, like, bro, like, some people do this stuff, like, you know, like, they're so ungrateful. Some people are so ungrateful, and, like, for me, like, if I go to, like, I went to Brandon's house, and I met his mom for the first time, like, 4 months ago,
The
I remember
one that plays the bass.
Yeah, and that's our field supervisor. So that's the one that
yes,
that's the one that is doing the fish tank.
Yeah, I've met him.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So so him, he's a savage bass player. So he took his mom, he took me to his house, and just to go see he has like a zoo in his room. It's badass. And he took me in. His mom was right there. He's like, oh, like, no, siéntate a comer. And she started getting me like everything. She had made some ribs and had the salsa and like, bro, like, I will never forget that. Like, I just remember things like that. Like, I'm so grateful for her. Like, and if she ever comes anywhere around me, like,
for sure,
I'm gonna give that same energy back with whatever I can.
For sure.
And sometimes when people came over, like, all you could give them was food. Like, hey, can I offer you a drink? Can I offer you anything to eat? Like, we just made this. Like, hey, here, have some food. No, I have some. You know, you have a couple tacos, you're eating lunch. Like, to this day, bro. The other day, it was like, selfishly, I was like, hey, you guys want some? I was starving, bro. I hadn't eaten all day. One of my guys came, like I said, I was, hey, you want some? Like, it was a half a sub. It was a Jack from Gray's drive-thru. They cut it in half. I was like, you want one? And he's like, yeah. And he took some. I'm like, damn, he actually took it, you know?
He actually took it.
You're just like, damn, you're just offering, like, to be nice, not thinking he's going to take it. I'm like, damn, you know? But that side never leaves, bro. Even though sometimes it's selfish, you know? But, like, it has never leaves me. Like, that's just, it's engraved in me. I can't get rid of it.
Yeah.
But
that's good. That's a good thing to keep, too. I remember when we were like in a year and a half of opening, and you know we weren't doing the best. We weren't doing bad, but we weren't doing the best. What would make my day is that one of the older guys that I hired, he would bring me food, and obviously, like, I can get food from anywhere.
Yeah,
you know, I could, you know, we have McDonald's, we have food, we have food everywhere. But he would bring me food, and he would be like, hey, like, here's food. Like, I brought you food. I'm like, and I was like, why would you bring me food? You know, like, sometimes I would ask him, like, hey, why do you bring me food? And he's like, well, just the little that I have, I want to, you know, I want to share with you. And I'm like, dang, like, that's crazy. You know, like, why would you bring me food when you know that I could buy food? You know that, like, and I feel like that's very powerful. That, like, you sharing that moment with somebody, and that kind of changed my mind and made me more positive at the end of the day, because he was so positive. He would come and like, hey man, like, we're so blessed to be here. We're so, like, every single day, I'm not lying to you, every single day. And sometimes he would annoy me, like, how are you gonna repeat yourself every single day? But at the end of the day, it was like, it was something that kind of,
it stays with you.
It changed my mindset. For sure.
Sometimes that's like love language, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I go to my mom's, and I tell people, I told my mom, like, I don't like coming, because she lives in Portland, so it's always, so like, one of the things I tell her, like, I don't like coming over because, like, I'm on a diet, mom.
Yeah.
Like, I come over and I leave, like, with 2 Walmart bags of, que te doy queso, y que te doy esto, y que quieres esto, quieres tienes huevos, because she has chickens, tienes huevos, you have this, you have that.
They're super
yes, I have some.
right now, bro.
¿Quieres tortillas? No, I'm not eating tortillas right now. I'm gonna, here, take them. You want some gordita? I'm like, bro, oh my gosh. And I leave with 2. But it's her love language. That's the way that, you know? No. And it's like, no. But that one of the things, she's always been given like that, which has allowed me to be, like, I get my giving side from my mom. We do proof giveaways. We do so much giveaways, bro.
That's beautiful.
We really had to tighten down. My CFO talked to me. She's like, you really need to tighten down in your advertising. She goes, because you had a lot of expenses last year. I go, what do you mean? Like, advertise? Like, yeah, well, we need advertising. She goes, no, but not like marketing, not like that. Like, you did, like, a lot of, like, sponsorships and stuff like that. And I tell people all the time, like, in the office, is, oh, you know, somebody comes in and they go, hey, we'd love to be a sponsor, you know, for this group. And for us, like, my biggest calling is, like, the youth. Our mission statement for our business is protecting roofs, empowering youth, and strengthening communities. Like, those are our mission statement. And so if you're a sucker, like, I'm a sucker, like, you have a kid that is like, hey, like, can I come mow your lawn? Can I come rake your leaves? Can I wash your trucks? Like, if you can sponsor me for this, or the teams will come and they'll say, hey, could you sponsor for that? Bro, I've sponsored people left. Like, I can't, like, sometimes they go like, dude, like, you can say no. Like me, so, like, you could say no. I'm like, I just can't. Like, it's $500, $750. Like, they're gonna get their uniforms. We just sponsored 3 they all play against each other. All 3 of them, we sponsored them. You know, because it's not about this. You know, like, they all play. They're all from Oregon too. You know.
Yeah.
501 Hustle, and there's a real cool nonprofit there out of Oregon as well.
That's cool, man.
Latino basketball, and it's like they all play against, but we sponsor them not because of the clout, but it's because like, dude, I remember like having the shacks. Like I remember my mom being so giving, like, and all the people that were giving to me, like it's the least that I could do. Like God allowed me to be great, like be blessed with what I have, and all I could do is like really give it forward. Yeah. But I also think that that's why we continue to grow.
Exactly. Sometimes it doesn't make sense on paper. Sometimes it doesn't make sense in the graph. Sometimes it doesn't make sense, bro. But not everything has to make sense. You know, leave that to God. But what we can give, let's give. Yes. You know what I mean? And sometimes my father and I will get into, you know, disagreements on that stuff too. But I've seen him give so much too, where I'm like, hey, why would you do that? And then now it's the other way around. Like, hey, like I think you need to like you said, who was it? Your advisor?
Yeah, my CFO.
Yeah,
fractional CFO.
She was like, hey man, I think you need to chill out. But yeah, you're giving it from your heart, and you could never lose that way. You could never lose.
And I'm glad my brain's not wired like that. I'm very glad, like, I don't know, like, the numbers. Like, my math sucks. Like, when people go, hey, like, what is this? Like, sometimes I'll be, like, under the table. Like, when I play blackjack or if I play poker sometimes, like, where I got, like, in the final table in Vegas, this last trip that I went, I made it to the final table. Like, if they only understood, like, when I was trying to get it straight, like, I'd go... Like, I count with my fingers, bro. I do. Like that's me. Like, underneath the tip, we have these dudes that, like, will count the cards, and they'll say, oh, the odds of this card, like, the probability of hitting him straight on the river is this because there's 4, you know, spades on the whatever it is, you know, and then I'm over here like this, bro. Like, but I'm glad my brain doesn't work like that because that's what she does, and that's why I pay her to do. That's why she's that. But I'm the visionary, and it allows me to be able to, like you said, it doesn't make sense on the graph, but, like, bro, some of, like, the free repairs that I've give, like, one free repair that I gave to a HOA right there, Canyon Lakes Golf Course. There's some condos right next to the HOA, right next to the golf course I'm in. And I gave a free repair one time. And so then they called me back. They said, hey, well, thank you so much for doing it. Like, you should charge us. I'm like, it's all good. Like, took my guys less than an hour. Like, don't worry about it. Like, are you sure? Like, yeah, for sure. So then when they went up for bidding, they said, hey, we'd like for you to come give a quote on this. So I went out there and I walked on every single roof. And this was like year 1 in business, bro. Like, I'm like 4 or 5 months into business. And then I go, hey, like, I'd love to present in front of the board. Like, I know that it could be really confusing sometimes, and it's a really big number. Like, I can, and so they're like, yeah, like, come speak. The board wants to speak to you. So then they met at the clubhouse in Canyon Lakes at the golf course. And I remember showing up hella nervous. And I don't really get nervous talking in front of people, but I was just so nervous for whatever reason. And I remember just giving my presentation, like, hey, this is what you're going to, like, this is what you guys are going to get, yada, yada, yada. And then I remember the day before, I put, like, I'm not a detailed person like that, but I put down, like, every single inspection item that I found. It was long, but it was so detailed. It took me forever, though. But I won that $400,000 project because of what I was able to do, the free stuff. Like, it didn't pencil out. Like, if I'm hey, no, that's 450 plus tax. Like, that's our minimum trip fee, you know? And we've done it multiple times. And those people will send us somebody. So we'll do a free repair for somebody. Hey, just send somebody our way whenever you know somebody. Hey, so-and-so, give me your number. $16,000 later.
There you go.
You know? So, like, a lot of stuff doesn't pencil out, man. But you can't think like that.
Yeah. Not always.
Not always.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm not saying to just sponsor. Watch everybody show up to my business. Hey, can you sponsor me?
Yeah, shout out A&A Roofing, man. Actually, I need a roof repair.
Oh, hey, you said it was free, bro. I thought you were all about relationships.
Let's make it not pencil out, all right?
Oh, I know, man.
Just kidding, man.
I know.
I'm not the biggest numbers guy either. My dad is, though.
Yeah.
He's like the analytical one. He's the one always looking at the numbers, and he's like, hey, man, like, what happened this month? Like, did you not work this month, or what happened? Like, he'll literally ask me like that, and I'll be like, well, man, like, I don't know what happened. It was a little bit colder. I don't know. Like, what do you want me to tell you? But yeah, I like graphs too. I like studying graphs. I like seeing, like, I know you know your number of, like, how much you grew in sales. Like, I know my month to month, like, how much we're growing, and thank God, you know, we're doubling everything that we did last year, and it's just a huge blessing, man.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Blessing.
Yeah, and yeah, for sure. Like I do too. Like the data is in the number. Like you do. Like you have to like understand like your numbers. Like it's very
That's
like even if you
super
don't want to,
important.
even if your brain doesn't work like that. Like I do it because like it's very important, bro. Like for us, like 75% of our business is previous customers or referrals. You know, like and out of that 75% of our customers that are previous customers or referrals, about half of that is property managers, real estate agents, or contractors. So
Dang.
we have people that we do millions, like that book of business does millions of dollars, and we don't spend a damn dime on advertising because we've built that word of mouth that, hey, these guys are going to like, they're not perfect, they're going to mess up, but if they mess up, they're going to make it right, you know? And like nobody could say, hey, like, they don't answer my phone calls. They don't do this. They don't do that. Hey, bro, we've messed up. Like, this last big rainstorm that happened, we did a roof 3 years ago, bro. 3 years ago. It's never leaked. It leaked this last rainstorm. It freaking, their wall, it freaking soaked it. So then they called me, and they're an older couple, and they're like, they spend a lot of money on the roof, and they're like, we have this, and they're like kind of like defensive. I'm like, hey, first of all, I want to let you know, like, I'm on your team, like, I'm gonna take care of you, like, don't feel like I'm just gonna like ignore you and bounce, like, I'm gonna take care of you. And then I was like, get an estimate from a contractor, yada yada yada, this and that. And then I was like, we're gonna fix the roof, make sure whatever happened doesn't happen again. So we went out there, we fixed their roof, and when I went out there, the guy's like, are you gonna pay for the damages inside? I said, 100%. When I sold you this roof, I told you that I had a 10-year workmanship warranty, and if it was related to the work, we were gonna cover it. And this is related to a work we did. If we would have done that right the first time, we wouldn't be having this issue. I said, so yes, I'm gonna pay for. I already paid for the roof repairs because I do that, but I'll pay for the inside. Well, they had a guy come and they quoted him $8,000. I go, whoa, damn! Like, let me find my own guy. So I was like, can you allow me to let me find my own guy? So I got my own guy who charged me $2,800. Did an amazing job. Just finished up. They're super happy, but I just paid $2,800 to get that fixed. So like, it's not about being perfect; it's about making it right, you know.
Exactly.
And for me, losing that $2,800, they will never forget that, and they will be my personal referral partners moving forward. If they are ever in a social circle and they go, hey, like, we need a roof, don't call anybody else. Look, just call this guy directly. And so like, now I get like, we send everything to the office now, but I know that if it's coming to my phone, because my phone's not out there anymore, if it's coming to my phone, it's a referral. Hey, so I go, hey, who sent you? Oh, so-and-so sent you. We're going to get you taken care of, like I promise you. And then we give them a $250 referral. So anybody that refers us a new roof gets a $250 referral uncapped. You refer 10 people to us, you just made $2,500. Pick it up at the office. As soon as we finish the roof, go pick up your check. I have somebody that, like, it makes that their side hustle, bro. There's no swear. Like, I swear. Like, dude, like, the dude literally, like, I'm a better W-2 his ass. Like, he makes so much. I'm like, bro. Hey, but you look at it from, like, the selfish standpoint, like, dude, I've given this guy, like, 6 racks. You know, like, but how much business has that translated into?
Exactly.
So also got to look at that side.
That's a good motto to live by, too.
Yeah.
Like, don't make it perfect, make it right.
Yeah.
That's everything in business. That's literally what businesses are built on.
Yeah.
Because everybody makes mistakes. Obviously, like, you have employees and you can't control or micromanage them 100% of the time. So sometimes they mess up, or I mess up, or somebody messes up. But what you do after that, that's what makes your business. That's what makes or breaks your business.
Yeah.
Because that's what people are going to go and talk about. You know, like, oh, like, I try to return whatever, and they didn't want it back. They didn't want to make it right. They're going to start talking, you know. And people always are going to talk about the bad things before the good most of the time.
Yeah.
You know?
100%. And we're not the cheapest contractor, dude.
Yeah.
We're not the cheapest by all means at all. We're also not the highest. Like, we're not out there price gouging people. But we're pricey. But people understand that. Like, you get what you pay for, and that's what we like preach in the sales process. Like, it's all about value for us. From the moment that you call us, we're same day or next day estimates. Like, if I find out that my sales guys aren't getting the estimate, if you call me tomorrow morning and we don't have an estimate to you by the end of that day or first thing in the next thing, like, I'm on them. Because one of our remarkable principles is fast. And it's reliable, responsive, and professional. Those are our three things. And we created those three remarkable principles off of what people have said, not my opinion. So we grabbed all of our Google reviews and we filtered them all into three things that most people said about us, and it was reliable, responsive, and professional. So when you call us, we better be those damn three things. We better be responsive with our communication to you. We better be reliable. If we say we're going to do something, we better do it, and we better be professional while doing all of that. And we're so on top of that, like our KPIs, our key performance indicator on that. How fast are we getting back to customers? But when you give that service to somebody, what normally takes people in a construction world a week to 2 weeks to get a quote, like, bro, by the time you go to bed, you have the quote, or first thing tomorrow morning, by the time you have lunch, you're looking at the estimate on your phone, like, oh, whoa, like, and it's detailed with photos and inspection items and everything, and our warranties and our financing pamphlet and everything, and you're like, holy smokes. And when I called them, the front lady at the answer the phone was really nice, and she told me that somebody was going to call me within 1 or 2 hours. So then, because it's in our SOPs. Yeah. And then the sales guys call them within 1 to 2 hours. They set the inspection. They get a welcome email that sends automatically. Hey, thank you for trusting A&A Roofing, one of the fastest growing roofing companies in the state. Like yada, 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 home of the 10-year workmanship warranty. When we go out there, we talk to them. We say we're going to be there at 1 o'clock. We're going to be there at 12:45. When we go inside your house, we're going to take our shoes off like me. And then your fat thumb's going to stick to your sock like that happened to me that one time. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But, like, the thing is that, like, bro, like, that's who we are and that's what we're going to do. So when it comes to paying the price at the end, it's insignificant because we built so much value. Like, exactly. You think I come, like, because you're the cheapest guy in town? Hell no. You know? Like, the thing is that, like, it's the quality. Yeah. It's the value that I get from here. Mm-hmm. It's the real, like, when I come in here, like, it's a good feeling. Yeah. Like, I feel like I know who's across the counter, which, because I do, you know? It's like, it's just all of that creates an environment, bro. And if people can build their businesses or build their brands, their personal brands around that, just do that for a year, and again, you're going to be a totally different person, totally different business. Yeah.
I think you're really good at maximizing the outcome that you can get. If you're always on all the standards that you live by and you want others to live by it as well, I think you're maximizing everything that you can get out of your business, for sure. Because once you start letting something go, like, let's say you stop being a little bit responsive, you're gonna have a little bit of a leak right there.
That's a perfect way to put it.
I would just call it a leak. You know, you're not gonna maybe you won't see the change in the numbers this year, but for sure next year, or maybe not in 6 months, but for sure in the not this 6 months, but the next 6 months. Like, for sure. And if you're always on top of that, and others see that you're always on top of that, then they're not gonna want to fail you. Because failing you is like failing themselves, because they bought into your business, your vision.
100%, bro. And the core values thing, like, before we're like, core values, like, that's some, like, PR thing, like, that's just something that makes you sound cute, but, like, bro, everybody when we created our core values, our remarkable principles that I told you in our mission statement, bro, like, people know what they show up in the morning for. Like, our mission statement, that knows what people, you get in the fighter jet every day, like, that's what we're doing. We're doing it because we're protecting roofs, we're putting roofs over people's head, we're empowering the youth, we're giving back to the youth, whether through all of our sponsorships that we're right now, we're sponsoring, or we're giving 1% of our revenue to TTB Athletics Club. It's a youth club. And then in March we'll get another nonprofit that will nominate, and they'll get 1% of our revenue goal. So, like, I mean, our revenue goal for this year is $8 million. So if we have $8 million, that because of the people in our office that showed up every single day, that put the work in every single day, because they knew that our mission statement was protecting roofs, empowering youth, and strengthening communities, somebody's going to get $80,000 for their nonprofit and distributed around the community. So, like, you think about something like that, $80,000 for a nonprofit, like, that's huge. That's huge, bro.
It's huge.
That's so huge.
Yeah.
But that's and then our core values. But the thing is that, like, you are your core values. What are your core values? Oh, yeah, I could tell you all about them. But, like, I am my core values. Like, I walk my core values. When I get up in the bed, like, I am the breathing example of my core values. And that's how you have to put it. Because when you are that, people watch, and they're gonna do what they see that you're doing.
Exactly.
But if you're saying, hey, show up early, and to your sales meetings, and to your appointments, and you're always the dude that's showing up late. If you're saying have a good attitude, and you're always a dude with a bad attitude, you're just preaching, but you're never doing anything. But there's zero buy-in.
Yeah.
And then you're just spinning your wheels, year after year in business.
Yeah.
Wondering why can't I find good help? Because you're a shitty leader. Like, you don't pay your guys right. You don't ask them. You know, everything's about business. Like,
exactly.
I have an hour that we are starting for my business coach. Like, moving forward, bro, everybody in my business that's in my office, I'm going to spend an hour with them a month. And that's at lunch, at coffee, or whatever. It's not going to be about work. It's, what's up, bro? How's the family? This is your hour. Talk to me about whatever you need to talk to me about. Like, I'm just here to, like, listen to you. And if you want to talk about work, well, I'll talk about work. If you want to talk about your kids, I'll talk about your kids.
It's powerful.
You know, because at the end of the day, like, I want you to know that I have your back. Like, it's not just like, I have your back, bro.
Yeah.
Like, sell another roof, I have your back. Like, no, bro, I have your back.
Yeah.
You know, because one of the most powerful things that I've heard in the last 2 months that my business coach told me was, I told him, like, man, yeah, like, when I was going through this employee issue, I was like, man, but why can't people just understand that personal is personal and business is business? Like, if we're friends and I work for you, bro, you should understand that personal is personal and business is business. Like, hey, do your job, and, like, our friendship, that's separate, you know? But if I fire you, then it shouldn't affect our personal life, theoretically, right? But the thing is, if I fire you, it's going to affect our personal life. And what he said was, let me correct you, he said, the one thing is that business is personal because we deal with people. And there's no business problems. There's only personal problems that get brought into your business. So if somebody doesn't have a baby mama issue, doesn't have any personal problems, then there's nothing to bring into your business, because most people aren't good at leaving that at the front door. And that's when I changed my perspective. Like, damn, if I can help eliminate personal issues, things that are happening, like, there's no business issues. So I'd rather be a friend than to be somebody that's just here whenever I need a favor or something that's convenient.
Like that. That's true.
See what I'm saying?
That's so true. That's super true, man. I should have brought my notepad today, bro, because honestly, I'm picking up so many things from you, and obviously, like, that's the point of this podcast, is to pick up just, 1% of what you are. I could apply it to my everyday life, and that would be, beneficial to me. But, like, everything that you're listing off, dang, like, I'm gonna rewatch this podcast over and over and actually take notes of, like, the things that you apply to your business I could definitely use in my business, Yeah. And that's exactly what this is all about.
100%. And that when we started our podcast, just like yours, bro, I love your podcast.
I appreciate you, man.
I really do. I haven't watched all of them. I'm trying to catch up. Like, I'm on the one where the surgeon.
Yeah, Jason.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where he's from.
Tri-Cities?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the title to that. Bringing new things.
Oh,
yeah.
Shout out Johnny.
Yeah, there you go. Heck yeah. I love that. And but, like, for me, like, I had a guy, bro, the craziest thing today. I was on my way to the office, and I had one of my workers that was my workers left and started his own roofing company. Wow. But guess what? I was the one that gave him my attorney. I was the one that gave him the info. And now he has his roofing company. I was the one that helped him with his logo. Right? And, like, helped him with a ton of things. But he texted me today, and we haven't talked a lot, but, like, we're still really cool. Yeah. And I've always made it in my business known that if you have a side job and my dump trailers are available, or my trucks are available, or my gear's available, then use it. Because I'd rather you be upfront about things than you be hiding things that, I'm doing a side job. You want some under limit? Because the store's closed, take some of our under limit and just pay me back later. Like, that's the culture that we've cultivated, right? And so he hit me up, and we had been talking. Well, he hits me up, and he sends me a video that's, like, trending. He's going through Facebook, but this guy is from, like, Tennessee. And they're on a super steep roof, and the video's going, and they're showing them, like, hanging off with their harness. And it was my underlayment today, this morning. And I was like, dude, that's my logo. And that's my underlayment is unique. It's red and it has the A and A with black.
Yeah.
Nobody else has that. And what are the odds that another roofing company has that exact same logo with that exact same brand? And I was like, what the hell? Like, are my employees stealing from me? Like, that was a big roof. That had to be 8 rolls of underlayment. Like, how did it get over there? And he messaged me. He's like, hey, are these your guys? Because these guys are from, like, down south. And I was like, no. And I'm like, is my distributor selling my underlayment to other people? So I call him up. Hey, go, can I ask you a question? He goes, are you selling my underlayment to somebody else? He goes, no. He goes, I would never do that. He goes, but 3 months ago, he goes, there's a guy that came in to buy some underlayment that he uses red underlayment. Well, my forklift driver accidentally loaded your pallet of underlayment onto his. And well, he was pissed because he didn't want to be representing your brand. So we just gave him a discount. Yeah. And so everything's happened. I'm like, oh, I don't care. Like, it's publicity for me and I'm not paying for it, so I don't really care. I just was confused as hell on how there's across the country somebody's using my underlayment.
Yeah.
And that was a crazy story itself, and how that happened, how that somebody across the country got my underlayment, they bought it, they put it on the roof, and then they decided to record the video. They posted it on their Facebook, and that reel and the algorithm brought it to some guy in Pasco that was laying in bed this morning.
That's wild.
And I couldn't believe it. And so anyways, he goes, hey, bro, like, what do you think about this? And so he started asking me about business. Mm-hmm. And I said, bro, let's connect for lunch. And he goes, dude, like, honestly, like, thank you so much. He goes, not a lot of people do this. He goes, sometimes I ask my cousin who has his own roofing company to help me because they both have roofing companies. And he'll just tell me, I don't know. And he goes, bro, like, most of the time it's our own people that do it to us. Exactly. But like I told you, bro, the sun shines for everybody. And when you live in the mind of abundance, more is going to come to you. But when you live in a life of scarcity, that, everything's limited, then you're going to get limited results, bro. Bro, even if I wanted all of the work in Tri-Cities, even if you wanted everybody's business, if you were the only meat market in all of Tri-Cities, you wouldn't be able to do it. You wouldn't be able to supply enough. You wouldn't be able to do and that's the thing. Like, do what you're good at, build your brand around what you're trying to do, and everything will take care of the rest. With the mind that you have abundance. Exactly. Because even if I wanted all the roofs in Tri-Cities, bro, I would not be wanting to work with some of these homeowners out here. No cap. There's some really messed up people in this world, bro.
The same God that gave you the vision will give you the clients.
Yes.
Too, man. Yeah. That's what I live by, and I love that you showed up here and you said that the sun shines for everybody. That's true. That's something that my father and we live by too, because we get a lot of people calling us and like, hey, I'm about to start a carniceria. Like, where did you get your meat case? Where do you get your meat? And we always answer.
100%.
Where do you get your hot deli cases? Yeah. Where do you get your refrigeration? Who does your refrigeration? All those similar questions you probably get asked, Yeah. But
100%.
With your contacts and the people that you have networked over the years. But never be afraid. Because one day you were in their shoes, where you were wondering 100%. Everything. You were making phone calls like, let's see who can help me out with this, because I have no idea. One day you were there, so you helped that guy out too.
Yeah, man. And those are the moments I'll never forget. Like, we had some geeky moments in the beginning. Like, we were doing some janky stuff, but that's all I knew. Yeah. Like, nobody would help me, and I hadn't had anybody in this area that I could call, that I had the trust with to say, hey, bro, like, I'm a roofing contractor that is in your area, and I want to grow more and potentially take roofs away from you. So could you help me? Yeah. When I left, I didn't leave with the intention of starting my roofing company. When I left in my first month of business, after I had raised all that money, bro, I was getting sued by my previous employer. I got a certified letter with a very known attorney, and I was picking up my jaw from my floor, bro. Like, what? For what? And then I had detectives because there were false accusations, like that I was doing shady stuff. I had Franklin County detectives looking me up and calling me and going to my customers' houses and the most stressful stuff. Like, I remember I would get in the shower, bro. It was so bad. I'd get in the shower and I'd be in the shower, bro. I'd be sweating, just stressed. Bro, I just raised all this money and I'm getting sued. Like, what? But like, again, it was so weird because I was like, I have nothing to hide though. Like they gave me a company card and I didn't even order once. I didn't even once buy even a pop with that company card. Not $1 I spent with that card on a personal use, bro. And I was so glad I did, because everything they came at me, bro, like when you're a man of integrity and you're honest and, you live by faith, bro, like you're unshaken. Like things are going to happen, but like nobody can accuse you of something.
Exactly.
And you can always be comfortable. And every day that you go to bed, you can close your eyes and you can sleep so well knowing that you owe nobody no money. And that's what happened. I was so nervous though, because they had a lot of money, bro. And I was like dried out at the time. Like I just started my business. Yeah. And then the truth came out and everything was good. Funny thing is, 3 of his best workers a year later ended up coming and working for me, which is one of my best residential crew. Shout out Clemente. And then my last recent sales guy, the guy that says that he's so grateful about his kids, he came from over there. And then another one of his sales guys came from over there. And I'm not approaching these guys. Yeah. These guys are calling my phone. Hey, man, like, I just want to apologize and, like, for believing them. Like, they just had us so brainwashed, yada, yada, yada. Everything that you told us was going through when nobody believed you, like, is the same thing that's happening today. Those, like, having that scarcity mindset of not, like, he didn't want me to start my business because he thought that I was going to put him out of business, and we might. But, like, for a long time, like, I lived with that, like, the attitude, like, oh, my God, like, I can't wait to put it, like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then I found out really, really quick, which I'm glad I did, that, like, focusing all that energy on them was not allowing me to do what I needed to do in my business. And since then, I've just put my head down, and we've just worked. And now we have 7 of their ex-employees that do really, really well for me. And, again, at the end of the day, like, I had to be the bigger person to, like, really allow myself to go, like, bro, like, if God forgive the people that he did, like, who am I to, like, hold a little grudge over this? Like, right. So I've made my peace, bro. They do them and I do me. And at the end of the day, like, the sun shines for everybody. And we're just doing things that are attracting people, and they're coming over here. Yeah. And I want to be that company that people, right now we're hiring for an admin assistant. We're hiring for an operations manager, and we're hiring for 4 new sales guys. Mm-hmm. We have over 100 applicants for our admin position. My recruiter had to shut down the posting today for the admin and for the sales guys because we had so many candidates. The ops manager, it's a little bit harder because it's $105K salary, $25K bonus. So, like, there's less people that are qualified to, because my ops manager will run my whole business. So, but over 100 applicants, bro.
That's beautiful. That's
good, like, man. People want to be on a winning team.
There you go.
Just like if you, like, were to expand and, like, really grow here, bro, like, there's a lot of people that have meat markets around town that don't treat their people well.
That's true.
They'd be lined up waiting for you, working for you, bro.
Honestly, business and in your industry, it can get really, really disgusting, man. Like, the competitiveness and all that, like the shade throwing and the dirt that you want to, But when you have that mindset of abundance and you have that faith that, everything's going to be okay, and you just focus on what you're doing and what you're doing different, and you're serving that quality, you're giving that quality, like, is there really competition for you at the end of the day? You know what I mean? Yeah. When you have that mindset, but you actually live that mindset, like you said, like, you walk in that mindset, like, you are the walking representation of that mindset. Like, who is really competing against you, It's you versus you. Yes. At the end of the day.
At the end of the day.
That's what it is.
Well put, bro. 100%, man. Like, that's what I said. Like, you got to sell yourself. Like, anybody that, like, and not in, like, a bad way, but, like, you got to sell yourself to people, bro. Right. People buy into people. And now, like, you can tell when somebody's like, this guy's all bluff. Like, like, authentic, like, that's very, very hard to come across.
People don't buy from people they don't like. Yeah. At the end of the day, that's how it is. People buy from people.
Yes.
That's how it is.
Yeah. That's for in our business. That's literally, like, why would somebody, like, I hate you, but I'm gonna buy this roof from you? No, bro.
That doesn't make sense.
It makes zero sense, you know? And for us, like, I buy into my people as much as they buy into me, you know?
Exactly.
But that requires you to have a level of consistency in your if you're one day you show up and you're here and then the next day you're here, and it's like, bro, this guy's a roller coaster. You're so unpredictable, like, you don't know what you have. And that's where I talk about, like, the routines and everything comes into play. It's so important to have, because you're the same person, but, like, being authentic and just being, like, that same person. Like, I don't change, like, around, like, the same person that, like, you see me when I come in. Doesn't matter if I'm with Brandon or who I'm with, like, I'm the same person. I'm gonna say hi to you every single time. If you're in the social setting and you're with your people, I'm gonna still go up to you and I'm gonna say hi. Like, I don't change. Like, I am who I am. Like, and what you see here is what you get. Like, I tell people all the time, I told this to my people, like, oh, you're not professional, like, you smoke weed. Like, I don't care. My contractors know that I smoke. I don't do it religiously, but, like, dude, like, if you don't want to work for me because of my personal decisions, like, that's fine. Like, it's just my business. But I'm not gonna lie to you and say that I don't. You know, I don't push it on anybody. I'm not doing it in the people's houses, but, like, let it be known, like, that's what I do. Like, you know, like, and if you don't agree with that, then so what? Like, you want a friend? You want somebody that's going to be real with you? I'm right here. Just because I choose to do something else. And so people get so caught up with, like, we don't have to agree on every damn thing. Yeah. Like, we can agree to disagree.
That's true.
Hey, you Trump supporter, you Kamala supporter, bro, I don't give a crap.
Yeah.
Like, you're cool with me and I'm cool with you. Like, you respectful, I'll be respectful too. You know, like, it doesn't matter what ethnicity you are or whether you own a business. I have people text me sometimes, I'm so sorry to bother. Like, I'm just a bit, I know you're such a busy dude, like this. And I'm like, bro, first of all, don't ever text me. Like, I'm happy to take your text anytime. Like, I'm not any different than you. I put my shoes on, I put my socks on, I put my feet. Like, I don't just, like, have them sitting on a clothespin and jump into my jeans. Like, I put one foot at the same time, just like you. Like, we're both human. Like, what's up? What do you got? You want to go get a coffee? You want to do this? You want to do that? And that's the way that I, like, again, I never lose my humility.
There you go. That's good, man.
100%.
That's good. Always show that humble side of you, because we were all that curious kid or that young curious guy, and we still are. You never want to lose that. You never want to lose the curiosity to learn, to want to be a sponge, you know? You never want to lose that, because that's what got us here.
Yeah.
You know?
I used to read Red Ants.
Red Ants?
Yeah, I was a curious little kid, bro. Until
you, like, read them? Like,
no, eat them. I used to eat Red Ants, bro. I was like 4 or 5, like, oh shit, Red Ants. Like, we lived in a trailer park, bro. They came out of the concrete cracks in the driveway. I go, and I put them out. I go, what the hell? Until one bit me, and I never did that shit again. But, like, you're curious, bro. Like, I've always been curious.
Did you ever try the regular ants?
No, hell no. I was racist.
Oh my gosh, bro, that caught me off guard. I used to read Red Ants. I was like, is that a book? Is that a movie? Like, what is that?
Hey, it could be. If I ever do make a book, I'll do something like that. But yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, I like, at the end of the day, bro, I'm just grateful. I'm grateful to be here. I'm great. Like, after I leave, I just live my life in just gratefulness, bro. Such gratitude. Yeah. I'll go home. I'll drive in my truck that I like, go sleep in my bed, and tomorrow I'll get to be able to do this all over again. And I tell people, sometimes it's just as simple as a mindset shift. Like, you go, damn, today I have to make a sales call. Oh, guys, I have a meeting today at this time. I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to drop the kids off, I have to do this, I have to whatever. Like, no, like, for me, it's like, I get to make my sales calls. I get to go to my sales meetings. I get to go in. I get to feed my fish. I get to do this. I get to do that. I get to go work out. I'm healthy enough that I could walk and do things, you know? I get to pray. I get to meditate. Like, it's just a mindset shift. And when you can switch it from I have to I get to, bro, it changes your perspective.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly when you know that you prayed for this one day. You prayed for what you have now.
Yes.
You prayed for the abundance. Yeah. You know? But you also created at the same time. You met God halfway. You know, because He gave you a gift and you put it to good use.
Yes.
And we still haven't. We as humans could never ever stop seeing the fruit that it's gonna bear from the gift that He gave us.
100%.
We'll never be able to experience all the different things that are gonna come from that gift. But I appreciate you, man. This is
100%.
I think this is a super valuable podcast. This is for sure.
We went
I
off
think,
script, right?
Yeah, off script, 100%. But I think it was really good. I liked it, man. I think a lot of people can take away from this. Business owners and people that are just pursuing really anything in life, discipline, motivation, mindset, and faith. Faith is the biggest one.
Yeah. No, it's be a great podcast for the audience, man. I've been on a ton of podcasts, and this is my favorite.
Dang, man. Thank you.
Yeah, bro.
Appreciate you, man.
Heck yeah, man.